I am a massive fan of the Assassin's Creed genre, and I have been playing since the release date of the original Assassin's Creed 2 back in 2009. I used to be an Xbox player and played through the game until I got bored. Now, many years later, I returned as a PlayStation player and decided to get every, and I mean every, when possible, Assassin's Creed trophy. I lost a lot of footage in the making of this video of certain Assassin's Creed games, but I do still have a bit of footage from getting the Platinum on AC2 and Rogue, but also Liberations. Fortunately for you guys, our story this time starts with the 5th major installment of the series, Assassin's Creed 3. Set in the 18th century in colonial America during the American Revolution. In this game, you start your journey as Haytham Kenway, a British Templar. Yes, that's right. The game starts you off with false hope because you start your journey as the Templar who puts his presence for his order in the colonies. Your main story starts when you take control of Rotunda Caeton, also known as Connor. He meets many famous and known people, like George Washington. Yes, that George Washington. Before I started my journey, I noticed I already had some trophies unlocked. So skipping some events, like meeting Haytham and of course our main character from the Assassin series, Desmond, we make our way to Boston, where we fend off the English and rescue some Mohawks, including the love interest of Haytham, who he will have a child with. Now that we are up to speed, we will go through all the trophies and types for the main story. For the main story, we will get 17 trophies in total and an 18th one for completing all main mission objectives, being a perfectionist and all. In the meantime, we do as many miscellaneous side quests, cause the Perfectionist trophy, we need 100% everything done. This means main missions, side quests, and also the Encyclopedia of the Common Man. If you fail a certain mission objective, you can always restart from checkpoints, and most of these challenges are kinda straightforward. But also, some are very annoying and took a lot of time. I have some miscellaneous hunting on the channel without talking, just to showcase how long some stuff took. My main grind was the clubs you can join in the game, with certain objectives you need to complete before you can join a club, like for the boss and brawlers you need to beat someone up barehanded. For the frontiersman you just gotta speak someone on the frontier. The hunting society you hunt an animal, and for the thieves club you gotta rob someone. But for the thieves club you gotta rob someone a few amount of times before you can finally get a kid to come up to you who is gonna invite you for the thieves club. After completing one of these, you get a trophy by invitation only. These include missions like hunting certain rare animals and beating up some guys. But also, it's a major grind cause you need to go from location to location. So it's good to have your fast travel system done, which is also a massive grind by itself. Going through the underground of both Boston and New York, you have to light your way through a sewer maze that can drive you insane. And you have to solve puzzles to open up certain doors. These puzzles have a riddle, which can be solved very easily, but if you don't like the puzzle, just use the guide. There are plenty online. Getting all fast travel sadly does not reward you with a trophy, but is needed for 100% completion. Going back to the club missions, if you manage to complete one of them fully, you get the In Good Standing trophy. In the meantime, you probably found after at least sequence 4 or 5 a person to join your homestead to help you out. This will give you the House Party trophy. Doing missions for these artisans give you access to more upgrades for the trade system in the game. But we will talk a bit later about that. After traveling through all the sequences, you will see the artisan logo show up on your map all over the frontier, Boston and New York. Help them out and complete their missions to get a complete set trophy. Now that you have everyone on the homestead, you need to scan them for your Encyclopedia of the Common Man. These are actions that the artisans do when they are working. You can see these unique moments when fast traveling or just walking along. They will have a gold outline in Eagle Sight mode, where after aiming it will be recorded in the encyclopedia. After scanning every possible action, you get the An Extraordinary Man trophy. Around the homestead you can find some games you can play, which are needed to get the original gamer trophy. These are Phanerona, Morris and Bowls. These honestly took a long time, but after playing for a long time, I finally had my wins and got my trophy. Note, For the Thieves level 3 challenge, you need to win £500 by playing minigames. I recommend chess since it's easy and takes about 5 minutes each game. In this game we see our first try at naval combat, and for this you need to also complete missions and get all objectives done. These can be rather tiresome and pretty hard, but with some determination and a guide you can get there. I had the most trouble with the weak spot objective, which you have to shoot the front or ram the boat to reveal a weak spot, where then you have to hit it with your puckle gun. After completing all naval missions and privateer contracts, you get the all washed up and entrepreneur not pirate trophies. I highly recommend saving up money to upgrade your ship, and this also grants you a trophy, Tumble Home, which you probably already will have by now. In both Boston and New York you can find pages that fly away. These are needed to make Benjamin Franklin's inventions, needed for the trophy, but also for the 100% grind. When a page flies away, you have to chase it, and afterwards collect it. If it goes away, return after fast traveling and it will have respawned. Collecting all of these for one invention will give you the Blowing in the Wind trophy. You will also probably have reached 50% in your progress checker, so you have multitasking as well. When going on your first naval mission, you will return and find this guy called Pegleg. He wants you to find these trophies, which we already started collecting, and in return he will give you a hint to a piece of a map to Captain Kidd's treasure. These are some cool missions with a new area to explore and tells a pretty cool story that I highly recommend checking out. After completing all these missions, you get the Bring Down the House and Kid Gloves trophy. Making your way through New York and Boston, you will find allies that can turn into recruits for certain missions. When you liberate either Boston or New York, you can then get the Man of the People trophy. Training these recruits eventually ranks them up to become an assassin, which grants you the trophy Magna Cum Laude. However, you need to reach assassin rank with every recruit. After you've done all of this, the final hurdle is crafting all of Franklin's inventions, and that gives you the Patent Not Pending. And finally, after finishing all quests, side missions, clubs, encyclopedias of the man, etc., you get to the delivery requests. Yeah, I kinda forgot these existed. The best part is, they don't show up on the map unless you get close. So, I would highly recommend to use a guide and get them out of the way before anything, because they can take a lot of time. With crafting and killing, you can get enough materials to get all these quests done. And finally, you are done and you are a completionist. Now it's just more miscellaneous trophies, like selling undamaged pelts to all general stores, becoming fully notorious and then killing 10 Jaegers before losing your notoriety, witness a predator killing an enemy, which you probably already should have seen, block a firing line 5 times using a human shield, you probably already done this by now, loot a convoy without killing any of its guards by using your bare fists, hang 5 enemies using a rope dart, kill 15 guards with a single cannon shot, perform a double musket assassination, and sending a convoy to Boston, New York and the frontier. Now, after doing all this, you will finally have that Welcome to the 18th century, where we must stop the Mad King George Washington. Yes, that George Washington. As Rotunda Kaeton wakes up, he sees his mother. But something is wrong. He thinks that she should be dead, and then follows her into the town of Concord, where George Washington's men are rounding up civilians and are executing them on the spot. After returning to the village, Rotunda Kaeton gets a uniquely familiar gift. George Washington then arrives with his gangs of misfortunate generals and kills Rotunda Kaeton's mom. Using the Apple of Eden, George Washington triumphs over Rotunda Kaeton and stabs him with a musket, leaving him to die. Welcome to the frontier. In a frozen wilderness, you must survive many perils after waking up. This is the Tyranny of King Washington DLC that came bundled with the remastered version of Assassin's Creed 3 and plays out in an alternate history where George Washington used the Apple of Eden to destroy the British and conquer America. Each DLC has 3 primary trophies: killing with a beast form, 100% synchronization, and defeating the main bad from the DLC. The first DLC will have you face off against Benedict Arnold, while using the uniquely form of beast gameplay, where you can summon wolves and become invisible. Each DLC transfers that power through going from a wolf to an eagle and finally a bear. This DLC is no joke and can become frustrating regarding its challenges and collectibles. For DLC 1 Infamy, we have to kill 25 enemies while staying cloaked, reach 100% synchronization, but beware, after I spent my time completing all the challenges, I saved for the night to return with 0 progress. It seems there's a glitch where you press load on your name. You have to do the DLC 100% in one session or else it won't save. These sessions take about 2 to 3 hours, so 6 to 9 hours in total. And finally, kill Benedict Arnold, leading us into the next DLC, Betrayal, placing us in Boston ruled by Benjamin Franklin. We start off in a cell being told by Israel Putnam, and George Washington meeting up with our friend who gives up the second power of this beast, called Eagle Flight. This is helpful to traverse Boston, but just like any beast power, they drain your health, so there is a risk. After flying 1 kilometer with Eagle Flight, we get the Frequent Flyer trophy. Reaching 100% synchronization by doing all the miscellaneous stuff around the map. And this is a good tip right here. If you go to this part on the right side of the map, you can do 2 objectives, complete them, and then die. And it will respawn the objectives, making the grind less annoying. Finishing this DLC, we break George Washington's mind games with Benjamin Franklin and push him around until he works together with us. We make it to the docks where a familiar vessel is waiting for us. But first, we take down Putnam with a smooth beast power flight. In the final DLC, we take the fight to George Washington himself and go towards New York, where a whole new building is being built in the middle of the city. Making our way to the docks, we take our final beast power and become a freaking bear. We also notice that because of this power, our eye color has changed to a cyan blue, indicating the change from man to something more primal. Killing 125 enemies using our bear might, we get the Aftershock trophy. Reaching 100% synchronization by getting all collectibles, but just don't accidentally use bear might when protecting people, it might just kill them. And then, we enter the final mission. Reaching the final mission, it's time to use all that we learned to infiltrate George Washington's stronghold and face off against the Mad King himself. We have an epic fight at the top of the pyramid, where we have to use all that we learned to take him down. I think this boss fight is so neat, so I'm going to show you the full fight and ending right here, making this the final trophies before we reach that platinum.
I thought I'd see you again. Recoil before my vast power. I will send you back to hell. I will end you for all you've done. We are now ready. Let this sit your place. Armageddon. I died trying to bring down Washington. I plead with you, do not pursue the apple.
My son, I am so worried for you. The sky journeys have led you astray. Give up your fight for the apple, please, my son. Please.
Now's your chance. Take the apple. Take it. Take it. Commander.
Take it. Take it from me. I do not want it.
No man should possess a power so absolute.
Sink it into the sea. Weight it, and sink it to the bottommost reaches of the ocean.
Where are we headed, anyway?
Commander Washington,
I thought I was alone.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
That's quite all right.
Things appear to be at a stalemate.
I'm afraid so.
Might I suggest, Commander, that a republic cannot survive in a world with so many contending powers?
I beg your pardon.
Elected bodies, to be sure. The war was fought for this. For this nation to prosper. For this nation to thrive. The weakness of a republic must be balanced by a powerful man at its center. A powerful man, Commander, who, if I may be so bold, would be elevated in the eyes of the world if he were given the title of king.
Sir, I believe I can answer you in complete candor. Your proposal raises the greatest mischief that could befall my country. You could not have found a person to whom your schemes are more disagreeable. Let me conjure you then. If you have any regard for your country, concern for yourself, or posterity, or respect for me, to banish these thoughts from your mind. Never communicate as from yourself or anyone else a sentiment of the like nature.
We are done here.
You want to go back?
Yes.
This was a massive game, and it felt
us
amazing to
back.
fully 100% experience what Assassin's Creed 3 had to offer here. There might have been some struggling along the way, but nothing that I could not overcome. With that, our journey of Assassin's Creed 3 has ended, and we have reached Platinum. Regarding difficulty, I think this is a Platinum any Assassin's Creed fan should have. Assassin's Creed 3 was on my list of least favorite Assassin's Creed games, but after playing through it, it regained a spot in my top 5. Assassin's Creed 3 might have made the future of Assassin's Creed a little wibbly wobbly, but the game is something you must play once. I give this game, even in this day and age, an 8 out of 10. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe for more content like this. We barely started with this journey. Our next stop, the Caribbean. See you there.